Okay, today's topic is we're going to talk about one of Douglas's favorite pet peeves. Is it pet peeve?
You
Is it
know,
even considered a pet peeve? What? Something's
for
wrong
some
with your dashboard.
strange for
I
some
knew it.
strange reason, I don't know if we're live because I am on the YouTube channel and it is not showing.
Oh, sometimes
So
it
can
takes a
someone please?
while.
Okay, it's been minutes. Okay, it's
It's
coming
been
on now.
minutes. How
Okay.
dare they? Let me try. Let me
Okay.
try.
Somebody say
Okay.
hello to us.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we are
Hi.
live now, people.
It's
Everybody
hi.
can
Thank
hear
you.
our lovely voices, etc., etc.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just lagging. So my computer is just lagging. Okay, fine.
Yeah, me
Hi,
too.
yeah.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
let's go on.
Somebody's mic is having a wind being blown on it.
Is it me? Maybe it's me. Is it me? It's me.
Yeah.
Disaster. That means I have no fan. I'm gonna sit in this, okay? I'm gonna sit in this windowless chamber. So by the end of the stream today, people, you will see me like sauna like that. The sweat will be dripping down my face, okay? Because of today's hot topic that we're gonna talk about. Today's topic is what a strange transition. Today's topic is one of Douglas's pet peeves. Is it pet peeve? Is it considered pet peeve? I guess it is, right? He later you all will see he gets really fired up when he talks about the today's topic. Do you want to enlighten us, Douglas, or
Why is
No.
everybody just looking at each other? Why do I enlighten? Why do I
Okay,
enlighten
Chingo, go.
everybody? Okay, recently I just read this article, and the title is very interesting. And I actually kind of agree with it. It says that playing video games teaches people more about life than going to school. And I said, yeah, that's true. I mean, you go to school, you get grades and those things, but it doesn't teach you much about life, about being resilient, being persistent, being able to navigate the ups and downs of life. In school, school just give you, okay, you sit here, you study these things and you memorize things. But in life, when you go out there in playing the game of life and you go outside of society, what people do you think people expect you, okay, you go and do this and then you sit there and then you memorize and you hopefully that things are static and then you will get your result. No, things changes all the time, and then you have customers, and then you have your contractors, and then you have your suppliers and all those things. They'll just beat you upside down if things are not happen. You make a mistake, they'll beat you
beat
upside
you
down.
upside down? Goodness me.
I mean,
It's only introduction, no.
okay, so I'm very fired
There's
up. I
only
think I'm
see
not
people
fired
upside
up,
down
but
during the introduction. Can we save the
so
beating people
anyway,
upside down from the middle, please?
okay. So anyway, then I thought about what you said, video games. I said, yeah, I know a lot of parents don't like their kids to play video games or all those stuff, but I actually felt that they should actually play some form of games, video games included, because video games is actually quite a safe zone where they play things and learn stuff. And I play mobile games myself, and I actually go in and I do things and I make a mistake, and then if I want to get the result, I have to be persistent. Some things need some kind of technique and skill, and if you can't get it, and then you say, okay, I'm not doing it because I'm not good at it, and you give up, that shows that the person may do the same thing outside in life. But if you are persistent, you're like, I don't think I think I can do it. I just need more practice. I keep doing it and doing it, and at some point, you will learn how to do it. So it's a matter of being keep going at it and learn, make some mistake and come back again. And that's life. Life is not sitting somewhere and meditate. Let's take the word back. It's not meditate. Sitting somewhere and memorize data and then regurgitate. That's not life. So in a way, so I shared the article with both Denise and Douglas, and I said, hey, look, it's interesting. People have always been, especially parents, has frowned upon video games and those things, but video games teaches kids more about life, how to be persistent, resilient, being able to fall, make mistake, and then get back up again. That's video games. And that is what life is about as well. Not grades. Not getting good grades. I don't get good grades, you can get good grades. You only get your foot in the door to some good job, and then that's it. And then if you can't be persistent, be resilient in whatever you are doing after that, you're screwed anyway. Am I using a lot of bad language?
No, not very, very bad. It's okay.
Not very, very bad.
I think it's okay. Yeah, maybe Chunhe is very kind lah, so he doesn't use vulgarities a lot. So yeah. But I think I don't know, I think there are a few sides to this, right? Just now as we were discussing. You know, for the audience that are listening, we always have like a mini discussion before the actual live stream. And during the mini discussion, I think we talked about this before. There are actually quite a few sides to video games. Not how should I put it? I feel like different people can do the same thing, whether it's in terms of studying or playing a video game, but they will come away with different lessons, you see. And I think that is ultimately up to the foundation that they were given when they were kids. Because last time when I used to teach, right, you know, we always tell parents that for kids to watch TV is actually not good, because if you're just watching TV, your brain wave is you're basically okay. So basically, there was a study done. Your brain wave when you're watching TV alone, just watching TV by yourself, is actually flatter than that when you're sleeping, which means your brain is actually more active when you're sleeping than when you're watching TV. So there's a lot of parents will say that watching TV is not good for kids. But I personally think that dosage makes the poison. So it depends on how much TV you watch, and it also depends on what activity is going on when you're watching the TV or playing the video game. If let's say there's somebody with you at the very beginning, not all the time, right? The very beginning, somebody is with you, maybe asking you questions about the show, or you're having a discussion, that kind of thing, then it helps the person to kind of get a different lesson out of that video game versus somebody who's just, you know, playing by themselves and playing the video games by themselves. And yeah, that's what I feel lah. So I think that even if the different people play the same video game,
True.
one person may learn resilience and persistence and not to give up. Another may think that life is like a video game. If I like them, he or she may take things too easily.
True. But then
Yeah,
again, the other
that's
thing about video game nowadays is no longer like what it is in the past. There's a lot of social interaction in mobile games now. It is no longer a solo game. Most of this, and there's a lot of social interaction in there, which is interesting. But of course, with social interaction, you can learn bad things as well. Yeah. So I was
so
playing this game.
I think.
Yeah, and I was playing this video game, and then there's probably a lot of young people in the game. Okay, people like me, 50+ year old playing the game. I realized a lot of the people are like 20, in the 20s, and the things that they say, I was like, oh my gosh, why are they washing dirty laundry in the video game? It's so horrible. And then they are talking about things like, shouldn't you be not saying this kind of thing about other people in this way? And then it is your team member and you're saying it, and then everybody is bitching here and that's like, oh my gosh, sometimes it gets a little bit too far. So there are things like that.
The current gen is a lot more outspoken,
Yeah.
and their boundaries are a lot wider.
Yeah.
What is acceptable to them is a lot wider than what was acceptable to us.
Yeah, but
Yes, Douglas.
Douglas is just being quiet. I don't know what he's thinking about.
Maybe talk about education. Then after he will start talking.
No, I tell you, this topic, like I was saying earlier, is so complex. And even as the two of you are sharing right now, it can go on so many tangents. It can go on so many tangents because this thing encompasses so many areas of life. Okay, and anyway, so I was just thinking when Denise was talking about TV just now, and how TV was the start of the information age. Okay, it was not radio, it was TV that was. Okay, so we think that the speed of dissemination of information increased when we had radio, right? Certainly because now everything is live instead of, because pre-radio, the only way to get information is the only way for information to be transmitted is through your
newspaper and
newspaper, yes, as in mass information. Okay, as in
Yeah.
mass that's targeted at the masses. So that and it's always old information.
Yes.
And it's So the first point when information became current, as in real time, was radio. But the information age really started with TV. Okay, when people started to see real time things that were going on around the world. Okay, so that's first exposure. But TV is still one way. Okay, it is download. Okay, that's information flows one way, and when information flows one way, when we don't have a choice in how we want the information to flow or what information to flow, or we have limited options in terms of what kind of information we can consume, then we're still a dumb box, and we are still being programmed or fed with whatever information, and now because it's more real, and then we take in as being the truth, or to some level of truth. Because anything can be made up, right? You have absolutely no idea what's happening on the other end, whether it's a real event or whether it's a made up event, and people watching will never be able to know. Okay, so that was one, and then of course you can be fed with stupid things, stupid type of content, that makes us dumber. And then the age of interactivity came in. Okay, we still not internet yet, but I think in the 70s, no, 80s, 90s, right? I think the interactivity came in with computers. Okay, now we can start interacting with the information, and of course then evolved to today, where not only are we interacting with information, but because of the technologies available, we are interacting with real people on the other side. And we've reached a point now, okay, we are interacting with entities that are not even real, okay, AI. And you can't tell, okay, and that it's possible that you are interacting with an AI element and not be able to tell, because we can't see, right? It's just an avatar on the screen. And it may be, you don't know this is a live person or it's just a piece of software. Okay, so the level of engagement has changed, and then you were talking about how the school system, what people learn in school versus this real life interaction thing, okay, which puts people, okay, like video games, puts people into all sorts of environments, all sorts of situations where we have to solve problems. The reason a game exists is because there's a problem to solve. Okay, a quest that needs to be fulfilled, enemies that need to be killed, and all that. There's essentially a problem that needs to be solved. Okay, so then we play the game, and we get engaged in the game by the level of complexity of the problem, or how interested we are in solving that problem. Okay, whether it's fighting an enemy or going to space or doing a fantasy Dungeons and Dragons or magic, whatever it is, it gives us the ability to go into environments to solve problems. Okay, and then school has become static. School has suddenly fallen behind because school is still feeding information. Okay, so if you look at not video games, like computer games right now. Okay, it is like computer games. I mean, like school has become the dumb thing. Okay, of feeding information, and we have no choice what information is being fed. Okay, we just have to consume based on whoever decides the information that needs to be fed. Okay, and then of course there are consequences to that. But I tell you that I'm just thinking about this, and oh my God, there are so many aspects to this. Okay, starting from why we are school, the type of school that we have, what's going on in school, and whether it's still relevant, and if school is about giving people a set of skills so that they can get a piece of paper to do a job. What if they are able to and get a job to do to be able to earn a living and create economic activity so that the country can survive? But if kids are able to, or the general population is able to learn all this without going to school, then do people still need to go to school? So I was very quiet because I was just thinking, oh my god.
Well, it depends. It depends on the structure of the school. So the structure of school needs to evolve and needs to change with how the society has moved forward. I mean, I'll just give you an example in the game that I was playing. Okay, I'm not going to say the game, but it's a role-playing game that has team in it and those stuff. And the interesting thing is this, okay, in the game, in order for us to work so it's a team game. So in order for us to work together as a team and go into tournament against another team, we need to figure out the rules. We need to figure out the rule of that tournament. And it's stated in the game somewhere here and there, but there's some intricacy in here and there. So we work together, we talk, hey, wait, is it like this? Is it like that? Then we share ideas and we discuss. Basically, you need to understand the mechanics of the game. But I mean, overall, there's still some mechanics in that game that's in a structured manner. So you need to figure that out. Then you need to figure out your opponents and then figure out how you're going to do it. Then after, you need to practice the skills and do all those stuff and then talk to each other and work together as a team to complement each other to move in the tournament. And I think that gives us a lot more interaction in terms of socially. And these are people not from Singapore, no, these are people from Philippines, from Vietnam, from Thailand, no, and then we just have to communicate the best we could using languages that each of us can understand. And some of them are simple English. And we communicate. Sometimes we have to talk through mic and learn and move forward. And so we basically learn a lot of things on the spot, but we interact and we talk and then we share ideas, and we also need to figure out the mechanics, which school doesn't seem to teach all these things. So school has been very static. You just do this, you just do this. And the fact is outside is things are not static.
Yeah, so school is not keeping up with the speed of life. Okay, I'll say that now. So, okay, having been through, okay, so I look back at my own education system. I look at the current education system based on what I'm hearing from parents, from people that we know, and school is not keeping up with the speed of life. And so this is a big question mark.
For me, I think that no, because my experience of the education system in Singapore, I think it's similar to you guys. It's very results oriented, and but I feel that school, okay, the education system itself, the grading system itself, all that, when I was schooling, it is already out of touch with how as adults we live life, because a lot of times we come out to do our jobs, right? We don't even use whatever we learn in school, right? Like A math, to be honest, like who is going to use that in a normal office job? Nobody. That's who. And then but then I would say that school was very useful in terms of social skills. I think it is where because if you think about that, okay, I don't know, in my own experience, I have a lot of friends who are still friends with people they were friends with when they were in junior college, when they were in university. Not that they may not even be doing the same things that they were studying back in school, but it helps them to build a kind of support system for most people. And I think it really helps, especially young kids. It really helps them in terms of social skills, because when you're at home, right, it's just your mom, your dad, maybe your sibling, and it's a very protected kind of environment. Nobody truly wants to harm you or like, be mean to you. But when you go to school, you will realize that it's like a society lah. Not everybody is as nice as they seem.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, school, in a sense, they do give the environment of interacting with other people of the same age, and they share ideas and stuff. So it's a more social thing. And I have to say this, since you were talking about this, when I was in university, we all have a final year project. No, we will have to, before we graduate, we need to do a final project. But in my faculty, which is engineering, where there's very few girls,
Of
what's a final year
course.
project? Final year project is to find a life partner before you graduate, because otherwise, when you get out there, is in the engineering, there's very few females. It's very difficult to find somebody. You could interact with a lot of males and all the things. You'll be
No, that's why the engineering guys always come to the business school side, ma. I used to be from business management, and then you
yeah.
will
That's
see
why it's
strange guys all the time.
strange guys.
You okay? No, strange because you look at them, you know they are not from our module or our business school, because the way they dress, the way they talk, you know they are not. And then you're like, why are they eating in our canteen? And then we are kids lah, so we're like, the canteen already no space. Now can you go back to your own school to eat? Or
Yeah,
not?
they're doing a final year project.
Yeah, you
No,
know,
some
you
not
know,
even fun.
you know,
First year also.
you know that you are old. You know that you're old when you talk about meeting people at university by going to the canteen.
Okay, this is totally off track, okay? But recently, I've been following some certain programs, and they have like this, and these are local programs. They are like mini local dating shows, like according to MBTI types and all that, right? And one guy said that, oh, I met my girlfriend the old-fashioned way on TikTok. then the host were all like 30 something, like similar age as me lah. Then they were like, old-fashioned way is TikTok. What happened to those like me at the school and all that? It's dinosaur ways.
Yeah. So okay. Actually, to add on to that, right? And to extrapolate on the idea of games. So we think that games are the games that we play, right? That are considered games. But if we look at it a little bit more, extend the definition a little bit more about the games that we play, um, online dating sites, okay, which didn't exist during our time, are games that people play today, okay, because there is choice. There's choice of swipe left, swipe right, and looking for
That
whatever
also
it is.
considered old-fashioned already.
Yeah, so it is, but the thing is, but that is those, and then of course you extend it to your TikTok and Instagram, whatever it is, whatever the current app is that allows people to see each other. Okay, then of course then all your social platforms, right? It's if you look at it, they're all games. They're all games that people are playing. Okay, how to
With
okay
each other's hearts.
I recently discovered. Okay,
TikTok. Don't tell me you
no.
just recently discovered it. You are very old-fashioned if you only... People already find dating on TikTok is old-fashioned if you just discovered TikTok.
Do you know? Okay, so I recently discovered this word called lookism. Do you know what that is?
LOOKISM, huh?
Yeah.
I do not know,
I mean,
but I cannot
I
guess.
didn't. I was
We
not
should
aware of the
we should actually do a slang. We should do a slang episode.
lookism. Okay, lookism. Okay, is discriminatory treatment of people who are considered physically unattractive. Okay, there's such a thing.
Oh, I'm such
Okay,
a lookism person. Is that how I use it? I practice lookism.
So it's that people are someone who is not physically attractive, who is being made fun of, or who is being discriminated against, or whatever it is, or being judged and all that. Okay, is experiencing lookism. Okay, so that's that treatment.
I used to experience lookism. I think that's why I practice lookisming other people last time.
Where did this word come out from?
I don't know. So I was reading stuff, and then they use the word.
I mean,
What's this word?
You know what this sounded like? It's like you just add ism to a lot of things. Like last time, long time ago, there's no such word as ageism.
Ageism, yeah.
Ageism. And then suddenly, recently, there's like 20 years ago, ageism started coming up because
But 20
people
years
live
ago we
longer.
had, but 20 years ago we have voyeurism.
What?
Can you hear me?
Lagging.
No, I
Denise
said
is
20
lagging.
years, but 20. Am I still lagging? Oh
No,
no,
you're
Yeah, not
I
lagging
need
now,
to
but we
ask the
lost
IT guy
you
to
for a
come.
second.
Oh, it must be YouTube lah. Because I was saying something important. I said that 20 years ago, but 20 years ago we already had voyeurism and exhibitionism.
that one is
that's when I got cut off.
ageism started when people started to live longer, and then they continue to be in the workplace, and then they're being discriminated against because
So that
they're
behavior
older.
is called ageism.
Their behavior is called
Yeah.
ageism. And
Like
a lot of this,
like people say, oh,
especially
you old.
especially for
I get what you mean.
celebrities. What do you mean? Especially celebrities and air stewardess, air stewards or flight attendants. They're like, because they're old, they're still capable and working, but people don't employ them. It's like this ageism is like you just
Yeah, it's discriminated because of age. Yeah.
yeah. So now they have lookism. It's like
Yeah, so lookism. Okay, so lookism is
Lookism,
discrimination because
based on
of
looks.
based on physical unattractiveness. The opposite of lookism is pretty privilege. You know what pretty
Oh,
privilege
pretty
is,
village.
right?
But that one has been around for a while, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Pretty
So
privilege.
lookism is the opposite of. I'm just
Opposite.
saying
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's new. Lookism is the opposite of pretty privilege. So pretty privilege is you get privileges because you look good. Okay,
Yeah.
lookism is you get discriminated against because you don't look good. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, so all this online stuff, all your social media is a huge game as well that we are all playing. Okay, that people are playing. Okay, and you can be anyone you want. Okay, online.
yeah. So
And even
there's many
physically,
kind of,
okay,
yeah.
you do your prettify, beautify, whatever it is. Okay,
Yeah,
and then you look a
and then you
certain
can
way.
do that, and then you can go and scam people. And then you can do
Catfish.
that and then scam people. That's how the game of scam comes out in I mean
It's
online.
called catfish, ma.
Yeah. So and then those people that is good and
Yeah,
great,
and catfishing and all that.
yeah, catfishing, and then those people is good in grades, but they don't have a lot of experience out there, make mistakes and all those things, learn from experience, not street smart. In that case, they call it street smart or whatever. They're just good in grades because they've just been studying and memorizing. So they say, oh, because I go online and there's no manual telling me this is bad or this is no bad. So assume that it's not bad. And then after that, scam. So people teach them about things like this. It is not about memorizing.
That's why it's either book smart or street smart, ma, right? Like, which one would you rather? And it's very interesting. I think sometimes my generation, I think our parents expected, like, the transition is very funny. When we are younger, right, I was told that my only job is to study because that was how it was at that time. You have to get a degree, you have to get good grades to get a degree, and then get a good job, etc. That was how it was for my parents' time. And obviously now it's different, but obviously they're not able to foresee lah. Then I was told that all I have to do is study. So it's very interesting. That means kids my generation, we were expected to be book smart when we were studying. Then suddenly when we come out to work, we were expected to be street smart. I think that's quite it's quite unrealistic, right? That expectation. You are either one or the other one.
Yeah.
When you have it's
Not,
from school.
not necessarily. Okay, anyway,
Yeah, I know,
street
but I'm
smart-
talking about like
street
with
smart-
that small number of years that we have been able to practice.
But street smart is it's not something you can learn, no, from a book. Street smart is actually being in an environment and learning from making mistakes.
Yeah, so if let's say you
Being-
go out to work like part-time jobs, then you learn to be more street smart, right? You learn
Yeah.
to like navigate. But then if you are somebody that is book smart who is always studying, getting very good grades, time is 24 hours, ma. You're either doing this or that.
Yeah, so that's
You get what I'm
I
saying?
feel that I mean if you go to school, you cannot just be learning just things from the books.
That was what I used to do. That's why I come out so
more than
stupid.
just the books. You need to be more than just things from the books because the books are theory. You need to actually practice. You need to go down there, interact and
I
practice.
know. know.
Go make some mistakes.
know.
Go make some
And go make
mistakes.
some mistakes.
Yeah,
And
make
go
some
do certain things.
mistakes. The only mistakes
That's
I
how-
made were in my textbooks. So
The
shitty.
mistake you make in your textbook is just
The only
two-dimensional.
mistakes I made were in my textbook, and then when I came out, I was so naive and so silly and so not clever in terms of social interaction and like do not know what to say when, what to say what, you know, that kind of thing. Just basically making a fool out of myself socially. But look where I am now. So whoever is on the same road as me, you have hope. Okay, but to be fair, this is my own experience. But to be fair, school, besides grades aside, it taught me to be resilient, not in terms of making mistakes, but it taught me to be resilient towards other people. It taught me to be okay with my own company, to be okay being alone and not lonely. That was what school taught me. But of course, I was so young, I didn't know much better.
Yeah, it's. I have to say, most people will be young at the time, and because they don't have a lot of experience in life at the time, other than in that protected environment of school, they actually need to be guidance from the adults that were imparting the knowledge, which is the parents and the school themselves, as well as the teachers themselves, to impart certain form of knowledge about certain part of life that they need to understand.
True.
And the thing is that I have to say this, the curriculum is not going to say, you're not going to have a curriculum that say, you must teach this. But the understanding that the reason why kids are taken to school is that they impart some kind of knowledge about the society eventually, so they can step out in the society to be able to survive in the society. So they need to know certain things or knowledge about how that works. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
not
but
in,
you see, the thing is the people, the teachers who are supposed to be teaching, don't even have this awareness. Okay,
They're very old school
and this
lah. They're very old
and this
school.
this cannot be taught in a theoretical academic manner. Okay, without the teacher, okay, having life experience on the matter. Okay, you know, life cannot be taught from a textbook. Life has got to be taught from the
Yeah.
experience of somebody who has experienced life, made a lot of mistakes. Okay, but we have such a deep seated belief that making mistakes are wrong. That until that belief changes, okay, we're not going to be able to see anything from
Like generation by
yeah,
generation,
yeah.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that the world is moving faster and faster and faster, and the world is going to progress. Technology is going to move ahead even faster than it used to move. I mean, you look at it now. Okay, I was just recently um, reading some articles. We were all talking about AI, and I was saying, you know what is the in thing now? Everybody's talking about flying taxi. Now a lot of companies want to get into flying taxi, and eventually in 2024 and 2025, you will start seeing a lot of flying taxis in certain society or in certain
Expensive, I'm very sure.
cities. It will start expensive. I mean, we
It will
actually do have
start
some,
expensive.
we do have some flying taxi in certain cities, but those are helicopters. I mean, those are still taxi. I mean, you fly people from one area to another, and you pay some money for it. But now they're going to mass produce these flying taxi, which are electric flying vehicles to move people from short distance to short distance to avoid all the horrible land traffic.
Yeah,
So
but then
they're
after when everybody do the air traffic, everybody will then the
yeah.
air traffic will be
So
horrible.
things are going to move very, very fast eventually. And if
Mm.
school doesn't teach people how to learn to navigate the progression in the society as things changes, and then you how to keep up with things and other stuff, and they keep learning the things that's in the books that's like maybe it's 5 years ago. But
Last time
sometimes,
one.
yeah, 5 years ago maybe already too long already in the future.
Okay, we have a
Things,
question.
We do?
So what do you do to not
Why I'm
waste
not
your
looking at the
school time?
comments probably? Why am I not looking at the comments? I can't see the comments. Oh my god.
okay. So anyway, is there? So what do you do to not
To
waste your
not
time?
waste your school time.
I think we all three of us will have different opinions. Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. Whatever I'm saying about school is not saying that school is not important. School is still important, but going to school is not about the grades. It is about the knowledge, the fundamental and basic stuff you learn in school, so that you know some of these things like science, arts, languages, mathematics, so that you can get out into the society to be able to be useful and be familiar with it. Because if you go into society, people are going to talk about use math for transaction. They're going to talk about some scientific stuff, and nutritional stuff and all stuff is based on science. So you need to understand that, and there'll be art stuff and languages is to communicate. So those are the fundamental things that we need to understand and know. But more than that, beyond that, we need to know how to learn. School is not just about getting the grades, to learn how to learn and then make mistake. And once we make mistake, we are able to recover from it and make a corrections and then move forward. And at the same time, it's a place to interact with people and socialize. It's not a place to go there to study, always be in the books and then learn things in the books, and then you miss out on the bigger picture, which is the people around you in school. The interaction is actually very key, because in the society, if you don't interact in school, you go into society, you're going to have a lot of problems. I mean, in general, that's my sense. So it is still not really wasting time, but you need to know what you want to learn, get out of school, knowing that there are certain things about school. But of course, children won't know about that. So it is now up to the parents to tell the kids what are the things you want the kids to learn from school. That's my take. Don't wait for the government to change. I think the parents need to do the change first.
Yeah, but the parents until they are aware enough.
Not
okay,
all, not all, not all.
Yeah, so until they are aware enough, so we all create from who we are. Okay, we can. I've talked about this. I think I talked about this way, or somewhere I've talked about this. It's one of my live streams. We can only create from where we are, meaning what is in our reality box. We cannot create things that we don't have an awareness of, right? We cannot. Okay, so if and this whatever we are aware of is driven by, or our reality box is driven by a set of beliefs. Okay, and this set of beliefs is not something we're born with. It's something that's shaped through our lives. Okay, of what is possible, what is not, and everything else in between. So for a group of parents, okay, until there is an input that breaks that reality box of belief that about what school does, okay, and how they need to approach school, and the function or purpose of school, okay, in creating getting a piece of paper for the kids, and then being able to get a job and being able to support themselves. Okay, because for our parents, the only way, for my parents, the only way is to get a piece of paper, because my parents didn't have that piece of paper. Okay, to get a good job, because that piece of paper assures a higher level of income. Okay, so it has shifted, but it hasn't shifted enough. Okay, for parents to say that, hey, go and learn how to learn. Okay, go and learn to make mistakes, and go and learn to be resilient. Go and learn. Okay, very few parents are able to do that because it's not in their reality box. Okay, so it's going to take something to shake, to shake that, hey, and it's happening. It's happening because it's like
It's happening already.
Young people are spending a lot of money and a lot of time getting pieces of paper and coming out and realizing that, hey, whatever they learn in school academically is no longer relevant even the moment they step into the working world. Okay, and it's going to happen a lot more in the coming years, because AI is going to replace a lot of, the people who spend years and years and years and years, okay, learning all this data-driven stuff, okay, coming out, okay, the ChatGPT has put them out of a job. The AI has put them out of a job. Okay, even before they start,
before it's officially launched.
Yeah, they're going to go into the world, okay, thinking that the 20 years, okay, of slogging and doing well academically, Okay, it's going to give them a job, and suddenly those don't exist anymore. So they're going to start from scratch at 20 something years old.
I'm
So
not. I'm
that
not.
will happen.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that because the 20 something years old that I meet, they grew up in the era where towards the end of their schooling life they realize that the paper is
Yeah.
not going to be that helpful anymore.
But
Okay,
the
let's just
people, okay, the people who
mm,
started school like 15 years ago when all these things didn't exist,
mm,
okay, or 10 years ago, and
yeah,
so it's either they
like towards
shift,
the end of their school life lah, then you're like, oh, we are
yeah,
screwed.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so they were at that transition. Okay, let's just put everything into context. I think what we are saying right here is not that school is not important or it's a waste of my time. In my experience, it was not. I think at the end of the day, it's really up to, okay, whether we like it or not, change starts from individuals, right? So whether it's from a parent, single household, that's particular household from your core household, your parent, your guardian, or the teacher who is teaching your class is maybe a little bit more forward thinking and doesn't place, not that they are saying that grades are not so important, but it is not everything. And that lesson is brought across to the students or to the kids, then the kids will know that, oh, I go to school. Grades are important simply because I need to go up to the next level. That's it, right? I need to graduate. That's all. But then there are other things that are important as well. So instead of the focus just always being on the school grades and how well we are doing in terms of academic wise, there's also importance placed on being an all-round player, learning your social skills, doing your CCAs, I don't know, doing whatever else that will help you become a more rounded person. And also for the comment that's on screen right now, to clear it up, it's not that, how should I put it, you need to be clear about your intention, right? What kind of career path do you want to go through? Where do you want to start at the very least? Okay, because usually for the current generation, I would say that we would change careers at least, okay, there was a study lah, average people change their careers at least 2 to 3 times in their lifespan, average lah, okay? So it depends on what kind of career you want to pursue. If you're looking at a lawyer career, a doctorate, a medical career, you definitely need a degree. Or you want to, I don't know, architect, probably you need a degree as well. If let's say that is what you want to pursue, so you need to be very clear. And those are actually quite high paying jobs also. So just be very clear
Well,
what kind of route you want to take.
yeah, I think we need to. This statement is based on an old belief that you need a degree to get a high paid job. I'm just going to state as simple statement. You don't actually need a degree to get a high paying job. So high pay is relative. I mean, there are people in certain countries, well, in the more developed countries like in Europe and in the US, a plumber, a carpenter. Okay, you don't need a degree to be that. You just go and learn that skill. You earn more than a lot of people that work 9 to 5 job because those skills are highly valued because not many people want to be in those roles. And when I was young, I tell you, when I was young, okay, whoever is listening there was, I remember I went to the market, the wet market with my mom. And then I went there and said, how come there are so many Mercedes-Benz parked here? Mercedes-Benz park. And I was
The
like,
store owners very rich one, huh?
I was 8, 9 years old only. I said, who stays? I was staying in the government estate, no? I mean, who in this area got so rich? And my mom said, these cars are not owned by any of us who are employees. These are owned by the butcher and the fishmonger that is selling this in the market. So she was telling me, I said, wow, they are really, yes, they make a lot of money. It's just that nobody want to do those jobs because it's very hard work, because they have to wake up in the morning very early, 4 a.m. or 3 a.m., go to the wholesale market, get the fish or get the meat and all those things, then come to the market, get ready so that at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. when people come and buy, it's ready. And then they have to deal with all things, and then after that they have to wash up the place, clean up the place, a lot of things they need to do. So even after they close up the shop, they have to go home, they have to deal with a lot of things, they have to do their own accounting, make sure things are okay. So their job is, it's not a 9 to 5 thing, it's almost the whole day. So but they make a lot of money. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you need a degree, and these people don't have degree. Then I said,
Okay.
then why am I going to school? Why I need a degree? Oh, you need to learn some basic stuff. Okay, you don't need to get very good grade. Okay, my mom is quite procrastinating. You don't need, if you can't
Or
study,
you need to
it's fine.
get to the next grade.
Yeah, if you can't study, that's fine. But I want you to go school to learn things. But if you cannot get the grades and you do badly in stuff, it is fine. We will take you out. Because my mom, her father, which is my grandfather, they have a lot of siblings. So some of her brothers didn't do well in school. My grandfather actually took them out from school and give them a skill. My grandfather was a goldsmith, and they took them out of school. You learn, be and practice under me, be another goldsmith. You learn from me. At least you have something that you can earn a living. So it is not mandatory to get good grades from my parent.
Yeah, so that's what I mean.
So
Change starts
the thing,
individually.
no, so it's not about the grades. It's not about the grades, okay? It's not about the grades, okay? And that's where people get it all wrong. It's not about the grades. It's about being an expert. Okay,
Yes.
it's about being an expert, okay, and being good at whatever it is that you decide to be good at. Okay, and being able to be so good that you create so much value that then translates into a return and exchange. So it's not about grades at all. Okay, it just happens that there are some professions that in order to get this level of expertise, this level of mastery, they need to go through that. They need to undergo some training. They need to have a certain level of type of knowledge. Okay, like Denise was saying, the doctors, the doctors, the architects, or
Yes.
they need the knowledge to be able to be subject matter experts. But the knowledge is also not enough. The knowledge will get them that piece of paper. Then beyond that, they need to get experience. Okay, the higher paid or compensated experts, okay, are compensated because of their experience. And what does experience come from? Okay, being exposed to lots of stuff, making mistakes and knowing and making corrections, and then they get good. This is what differentiates the people who are really, really good, okay, from other people who are mediocre. Okay, because at the end of the academic journey, everybody gets the same piece of paper. Okay, you look at the piece of paper, you can't tell. Okay, you can't tell at all. So what differentiates people, okay, is their experience, okay, and how good they get because of their experience. So it's not about grades. It's not about grades to get that. Okay, it's about the commitment that each person has to being an expert in whatever it is. Okay, Steve Jobs didn't have a degree, neither did Bill Gates. Okay, but they were committed to create whatever they were committed to create from their passion, from their experience, from whatever it is, and they all made a lot of mistakes. Okay, all the people with pieces of paper end up working for who? People who don't have that piece of paper. And why does that happen? Because the people who don't have that piece of paper have nothing to lose. And this is so difficult. Okay, this is such a difficult message to pass down.
Difficult, I think, in terms of the masses, yes, and also the system as a whole is. When you talk about revamp, it may take a while to move forward because the system is quite big, right? And it's nationwide. But like, I can, in my personal experience, I can see that there are the ratio of people who are open to pursuing things that are not degree related, they are passion related, that can add value to the world is increasing quite a lot. Which also leaves their parents bewildered.
Yeah, so I mean, even if you, I mean, on these questions, should we build school for children to develop their natural, not based on grade?
Yeah.
It's possible, and then, but then again, who builds the school is the society as a whole, and then the society will build what is really needed, not based on the just only the society need or the businesses, also based on what the parents wants for the kids. And until the parents decided that we don't need school to be like that, and the businesses decide that we don't need school to be like that, until then it's not going to change. Because if the business wants an industrial age kind of school where I want people to come up this way because I want them to have a skill and I want them to work for me in this manner, they will want the school to be that way. And if they have enough economic power to drive the society to build schools for them in that way, the school will come out that way. And the parents will just relent to give it to that business entity that's supporting that city or the town. It will be that way. So it's driven by the society. So the society is driven by the needs of the business as well as the parent. So until those people are willing to see beyond that, it's tough to change, and it's not for us to request a school to change that way. So we need to see.
No, we can build a school. So we can build a school. Phoebe, you can go build a school.
Yeah.
Phoebe, go build a school.
So beyond that, the only thing you can do is from your own belief and your own perspective, you make the change first. That's all I can say. I mean, who want to say that? Who want to answer this?
No, I don't. Okay, to be honest, Chloe, we are not companies here, so
no,
I do not know.
I do.
Yeah, but you are radical. You see, you're not you. Okay, so Douglas, we don't talk about Douglas from Douglas' perspective.
I will speak from my perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. I will speak from my perspective, and I know I am not alone. Okay. I will hire based on value creation. Okay, regardless of whether you have a piece of paper or not. Okay, in my business, in my software business, I've got a team of developers, and it's a mix. Okay, it's a mix, and there are some who have paper degree, and there are some who don't. Okay, and from a production, from a skill level, mastery, expertise perspective, there's no difference. Okay, there's no difference in what they create from wherever they create. The person, the developers that I have who don't have the degree, who are self-taught, okay, are as good as, sometimes better, are as good as, okay, the people with degrees. Okay, so and these developers who don't have paper, okay, are self-taught. They self-taught. They learn. Okay, and sometimes that level of commitment to learn on the job, make mistakes. Okay, gives them an edge, because they're willing to make mistakes. Okay, they're not programmed by a system that requires deprogramming to reprogram. Okay, they start fresh. Okay, and from their experience, they actually create a lot of value. Okay, so for me, okay, and through my career as a business owner, okay, I look at that level of commitment of someone, okay, and what they can create rather than the piece of paper that they have. Okay, that's me lah. Okay, yeah.
I can only say from what I've been reading, companies still prefer a degree in general, okay, but they are they're evolving and they're changing. And they actually want to look at the achievements. So companies will actually look at what you have done in school outside of your books. So if you have some extracurricular activities or you represented something, they want to look at what you're capable of potentially as a leader or team player, to see whether they look at all those other dimensions. So companies will look at the degree, but they look at those stuff. That's why there's an interview process. But I have to say this, there are a lot more progressive companies out there, especially technology companies, that don't care whether you have a degree. Elon Musk is one of them. He will just go out there, we need somebody who have this experience, we need somebody who are able to do this. I don't care whether you have a degree. Having a degree is not important. Okay, Elon Musk doesn't care whether you have a degree. And I know that there are other tech companies that do that. And a lot of tech companies out there, even Amazon, they want you to break things. They want to come in make the mistake, break the things, make the mistake, and then we learn and move forward. They want you to break as fast as possible so that we can change. And a lot of technology companies doing that. So in certain society, yes, they still want a degree, but things are changing. Whether it will come to your society, I don't know.
So Phoebe says this. The people who don't focus on degrees become leaders. Okay, not necessarily. Okay, not generally. Okay, I know it's an opinion, but also it's too general. Okay, not everybody who doesn't have a degree becomes a business owner, and not everybody who has a degree becomes an employee, because there are crossovers as well. Okay, so it's very
Yeah.
broad. Yeah.
It's
Some people
not,
get the paper, okay, to just to get it done with, and then they'll go and do their own thing, okay, and they don't care that they spent 20 years getting that piece of paper. Okay, sometimes it's a fallback, sometimes it's just to please the parents, and then they get out, they do their own thing. Okay, so
yeah.
there
So
are all sorts of permutations.
yeah, I think we don't. This a little bit kind of like boxing people in certain categories. It's not that it all depends on the individual. There are all sorts of reasons for things, and sometimes individuals, even if they don't get a degree, they don't become a leader or owner. They don't. Some people are just they just want to do nothing.
Don't care. Some people don't care.
Yeah, some people don't
Some people
care.
don't care. Some people it's easy, just living life, driving a taxi. I got friends who just I don't know. I really care. I just get a simple degree. I go and drive a taxi, and I live life free and easy.
Yeah.
Some people like that, and
Yes.
that's fine. That's okay as long as that's the life that they want.
Yes.
That is okay. And people judge
Not
you're just a
everybody.
taxi driver.
Yeah,
Nobody.
it's also
Not everybody wants that bright shiny object.
yeah. So I think for those of you guys who have been listening to us for a while, who've been following us for a while, thanks first of all, and second, you would have realized that we talk about things from our own personal experience or from experiences that we have heard from other people, because everybody is different. I mean, that's what this whole YouTube channel is about also, and what we are all about also. We're all very, very different. And while we cannot change the system the education is in, we cannot change the system, we cannot change the education system that we are in or that we are a part of. We can choose what we want to get out of it, and also what we want to focus on, I think. Yeah. Shall we do last words now?
Yes. We shall.
Oh,
Yes.
maybe my last
Yes,
was
so-
already done now just now.
Oh, is it?
No.
Did
You have to
capture
repeat.
that?
No, I didn't.
No, obviously not, because I was talking. I was like, it sounds like last words, leh. Okay, I will say again. While we cannot choose.
Wait.
Should I type myself?
wait.
I type myself lah.
Because I just typed.
I can type myself.
Okay, you type yourself. You type yourself.
Later I just put YOURSELF. Okay. Wow.
So while you're typing,
Okay,
should I do my last word?
Chunho can type himself too.
What the hell? This lazy person.
I don't know how to get it into the comments.
No, you just
Can
type
you
into the comments.
Yeah,
Which
you can
comment?
just type. But you
In
put
the
a name
YouTube
first.
comment or into the
No, you just StreamYard.
make a comment. Mine is a private chat.
At the bottom,
you-
no, on the rightmost. Yeah, you can see
There's a
comment.
comment.
banner,
Yes, I can
thread.
see the comments, but I have no place to put
How
entry
come?
At
into
the
it.
bottom. At the
No.
bottom.
No, it's not
Oh
available to me.
no, he's not made a host, is
Oh.
it, or what? Oh, bias. Oh, then Douglas have typed for you. Yay!
A privilege that I don't have. Okay. Anyway,
Okay,
so I'm
Denise
just
can
going to say
type
my.
first, then I will type Chunho's.
Okay,
Yes,
all I
okay,
want to
so
say
my-
is that I am not saying school is no good. School is still necessary and useful, but we need to know what we want to get out of school and learn the things we need to learn, so that when we get out of school, we still can navigate and survive in the world. Actually, there's not much different from what Denise is saying. Correct? It's just
I
in a
don't
different
know.
words.
Yeah,
In
just
different words
honestly.
only.
And
That same as Denise.
okay, that's mine. Oh, mine came out halfway. Well, we cannot choose a yeah.
Okay. So me, right?
Yeah, you own self type own self, okay?
Okay, I don't know. There's so many there's so many things. There's so many things.
Summarize.
Okay, so understand what the game of school, the, what understand what the education game is about, what the current education game is about. Okay,
Yeah, maybe one
and
day they will, instead of just teaching accounting, they may teach like finance also. Douglas, you can type
yeah,
first, then after when you type finish, then you can just
okay,
read out
go
from
then,
it. So
yeah.
it's easier.
Yeah,
Easier.
Denise, what you're saying
Right.
is so correct, no? They
Yeah.
teach
No,
accounting.
actually, I have the younger generation asking me like, why? Because of like the latest, the younger generation actually very concerned about finances, right? And they
Yeah,
are talking about
but
fire,
let me tell you
right?
something. The thing is that no school teaches accounting not as a knowledge and a skill, but
Yeah,
these
yeah,
people who
yeah.
actually learn accounting, they just know how to balance
Correct,
the big
correct,
finances, but they don't
correct.
really know
Yeah,
finance, the
yeah.
finance fundamental. So they
So
come
they
out and
should
they
teach
teach,
in school finance
yeah, it should be
about the different
finance
buckets. Yeah, correct.
and then how to account for the finances, not accounting.
Oh,
That's it.
do you know last time when I came out, I always tell people I'm very bad with numbers, I'm very bad with finance. But actually, no, I'm just very bad with accounting. And I realized that finance, accounting, and numbers are different things. I'm very bad with accounts because accounting to me it doesn't make sense at all.
I mean, the system, the way that they do the accounting, is not a very,
It's not intuitive,
it's not
and it's
intuitive.
very
That's
okay because I'm a very word person, right? And you know the terms that they use in accounting doesn't actually mean what is the words mean, right? So
it
it
doesn't, it
makes me
doesn't.
so confused all the time. Should I
Well,
read for you?
it's
Okay, my last words are
Um, okay,
understand the
you.
education game is okay. It's just full of typos. Understand what the education game is about and learn to play that game. It's not about the grades. It's about personal mastery and making mistakes and then corrections made. And that's what makes the difference. That's what sets us apart from technology that is fast taking over. So it's just understanding that.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I guess this is it. Thanks so much. Oh, I forgot to say at the beginning again, like, share, and subscribe. My goodness. Okay, so we should do it at the beginning, at the end. So remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, ding, 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 and we will see you guys 2 weeks later. Are we on 2 weeks later? We should be right.
They should wait.
Okay,
What
good.
is
I think for
later?
me, it's more or less always standard lah. It's the two guys here that is a bit more busy.
What's wrong
Yeah,
with
but
us?
it will be 2 weeks later, right? I
Two
think
weeks
so. Yeah.
later. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
2 weeks
yeah,
later is 13th. Okay, I will see you guys
yeah,
2 weeks
yeah,
later.
yeah.
We will see you all 2 weeks later.
Okay.
See you 2 weeks later. Why no music? Like, share, and subscribe.